Today we'll be talking about something that will be over dramatized and overdone just because I love it, because it's time lapse time. Okay, let's start off with the very basics. What exactly is a time lapse? So, to begin with, there are two kinds of time lapses. Number one, where you first make a video and then speed it up in post. This is a method I don't really like because the art of time lapsing is something that I tend to enjoy because you actually get to sit down more and think about the process. A video time lapse, it is basically a sequence you shoot and then speed it up in post. That's pretty much it. It doesn't have anything more to it. Type number two. This is the time lapse I tend to enjoy more and prefer over the first one because this is the time lapse where you actually get to sit down, take a series of photos, put together in post and add a bit of your flair to it. I totally understand that some of you might prefer the video time lapse over the photo time lapse, but hey, this is my opinion. Now let me tell you why the latter is better than the video time lapse. Number one, it's because it doesn't take up a lot of storage. Number two, because you actually get to sit down, enjoy the process, maybe have a good conversation with someone who's there with you, and at the same time as a bonus, you're getting great footage. Now moving on to why time lapses. Let's say that you have two completely different scenes and you subconsciously want to tell the viewer that hey, it's been a while since this has happened. So basically as a filmmaker, the only way you can speak to your audience is through your frames. Also, personally, I love time lapses because they tell you that irrespective of what you're going through, be it a high or a low, it's definitely going to pass. When you sit down to make a time lapse, or sit down for maybe half an hour or even half a day depending on the time lapse you want, and then in post you realize that the time lapse you shot for half a day or half an hour is being compressed to say 10 or 15 seconds. It's either very humbling because this is one way of telling you that hey, the show must go on irrespective of you being there or not. Or you could take it in another manner. Let's say you're going through a bad phase. Everything has to get better because time doesn't stand still unless of course you're approaching the speed of light. Time lapse, in my humble opinion, is a beautiful yet cynical way of saying that hey, no one's going to wait for you. Now everything's going to become a lot more dramatic. So let's get moving a little faster. Now on to the how to time lapse. Note, I will be telling you how to make a time lapse from a series of photos and not how to speed up a video, because that is something you can figure out on your own. I mean, you literally have to just speed up a video. How hard can it be? Your camera setting. For most time lapses, if not all, you will have to sit down and shoot your subject for over at least 10 minutes. So keeping this in mind, keep your aperture open as wide as you can because your subject is usually going to be placed at infinity or somewhere close to infinity. And if you don't keep your focal length that far, chances are that you might be getting a lot of motion in your subjects that are in the foreground. Keep your shutter speed as less as you can because the lower your shutter speed, the more creamy and more dreamlike your time lapse is going to be. This is pretty much it for the camera settings. Quick disclaimer, most cameras are made with inbuilt features for making a time lapse. Just in case yours doesn't, make sure you have an intervalometer, which sounds like something from a nuclear physics book. This is something I honestly don't really understand because I don't see why a manufacturer wouldn't want a time-lapse feature. I mean, this is something that you will have to play around with the software, but hey, it's a camera, it can take a lot of photos.